No, but I'm saying, I mean...
You go in there and you teach them a lesson.
We know where these people are.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Know exactly where they are. We need to send some cruise missiles over there right now and just start bombing the hell out of them.
Today.
We're always
Right
worried
now!
about...
Listen to, I mean, I get it. They're, okay. So to be fair to these people, let's be fair to these people. I could have said Jalalabad, and they would have been like, sure, let's bomb that, right? Like, just make up random countries. And that's because they're super emotional, because they're watching 3,000 people die live. Possibly, in their minds, since the reporter said 40,000, possibly 40,000. You can see the nuance completely leaving their souls immediately, and they are just angry and want to bomb something, which is understandable when your nation is attacked, when that nuance leaves your body. But when you're about to engage in a full-fledged campaign against terror, that nuance is kind of important. Wasn't there a poll that a third of Republicans wanted to bomb Agrabah? That is a real poll. Have you seen the Howard Stern episode with 9/11 was happening? Like, Howard Stern 9/11. If anybody can find me some clips from that, I would actually be interested in seeing that. Because I will say, like, 9/11 is such a strange event because how the world basically stopped. I don't know how Howard Stern would cover an active terror attack. The full broadcast? I'm not going to watch the full 9/11 broadcast from Howard Stern. They were talking about Pamela Anderson's boobs while the Twin Towers were in flames. Yeah, that sounds like Howard Stern. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Holy shit, you've never seen the Howard Stern 9/11 episode? Okay, to be clear, during 9/11, I was like 4. As in 4 months, okay? I was like 4 months old during 9/11, okay? I was barely alive. I was not watching Howard Stern with a binky in my mouth. Wait, here it is. Here's the Howard Stern broadcast.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she wanted it.
Wait, if I
She was about to say,
You know what, dude?
she would have said yes.
Pam is a friendly girl, and that's where you can't get confused.
Yeah.
They really were talking about Pamela Anderson's boobs when the towers are coming down.
Hey, I should make I don't mean to interrupt the fun, but this is a breaking news story, a serious news story.
What?
A plane has crashed, hold it, into the World Trade Center.
You're kidding!
The World Trade Center is on fire, which is
What is going on?
Really? Let me look out my window.
It's the tallest.
Just heard you right there.
Was it like one of those private planes?
Thank God you're
Oh,
alive.
dude.
You see it?
Dude, that's hot. Oh, my God. I got to go out on my roof. This is incredible.
See
The whole thing is on fire.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, not a little fire.
No, it's huge.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
If a plane hits a building.
I gotta run.
How did it take so long to happen?
I'll call you back.
Right, I know. I'm always amazed.
Because, you know, a plane once crashed in the 40s. A plane crashed right into the
I don't know if incredible would be the describing word I would personally use.
Empire State Building, like right in.
Right.
What kind
But what kind of plane? Was it a private, stupid plane?
I don't have any more details. I'm following this story.
I hope this wasn't one of those, like, terrorist kamikaze attacks.
You know what? He's preparing to
Let's get back to you and Pamela.
sit in on for Dan Rather. That's why he's being very serious.
Yes.
Taking over
This is my audition. We go now to Sandra Rodriguez, who is on the site at the World Trade Center.
Hello.
Sandra? Hello, Howard. The fire is going very rapidly. Yeah, I'm going to be taking over Dan Rather.
Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, man, Howard Stern, like, he's an interesting guy, but a lot of this doesn't age very well.
When he retires. Hey, Howard. It's a very serious story. I mean, I'm sure there's... but fortunately, it's early in the morning. Maybe not too many people are in the building.
Yeah, hope not.
You know what? That's a financial building. Those people get in really early.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do. It's like
For the international market.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what do they do there, though?
I'm not sure if the plane is... Like, a portion of the plane isn't actually stuck into the building.
It looks like something's
Where?
hanging out there.
You see on the left-hand side of your screen?
Yeah. I got you.
I don't know if you can see it.
Good Lord.
Oh, they just pulled back for you.
Yeah. See that? Is that a helicopter?
I think it's a helicopter that's hovering around to see what's going on.
No, I see what he's saying.
Right up
It's
there.
a piece of the plane hanging off the building. I don't know if that's smoke or a piece of the
You
plane.
can't really tell.
Dude, it's really smoking.
Yeah. Huge fire.
It's like Towering Inferno, because once it gets started, what happens?
Imagine being
They
trapped
built
in
it
there.
better than that hotel.
Well, how are they going to get? They're not going to get hoses up there. They're going to have to rely on the sprinkler
Sprinklers
system.
and all that?
And you know how well they work in the city.
But, these stairwells are all...
You can't drag a hose up there? Wow.
Don't they have a ladder that goes that high?
I don't even know how you begin to fight that fire.
Sand.
What do you want to know about Pam?
How did you feel her breast? Be honest, come on. Did you feel?
You know, the God's honest truth. I don't remember.
That's a yes.
Again, a plane just hit one of the towers. A plane just hit one of the towers.
I don't remember.
No, you would remember if he.
I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did.
Like, did you pull a butt close?
I felt their butt.
Okay, does this talk about when the second tower hits? Because this is actually super interesting. I had no clue that. I mean, like, my experience with Howard Stern has basically just been Beetlejuice. This is wild, actually.
Why are you shaking it?
I've never called you an idiot. And believe me.
I mean, to be clear, like, they were just like, one of them even said, like, right off the bat, maybe it was one of those terrorist kamikaze attacks. I don't think kamikaze would be the correct word here, but I get what he's saying, right? So one of them, like, immediately had, like, an implication, like, had an idea, like, maybe, you know, it was terrorists. Like, maybe it was that. But then they just moved right back to, I have no clue the context of the conversation, but I guess, like, Howard Stern sharing his quote-unquote conquests, or whatever you want to call it.
I invited her back to my place, and she wanted to go to a club.
You didn't invite her back to your place.
I did. I was there.
You just said you told her where you would be.
I'm telling you, I said, hey, maybe we should all go somewhere. And when a girl could take that and say, okay, let's go. But she was like, nah, I want to stay with my friends.
She wanted a little foreplay.
No.
She wanted to go out to the club with you, drink if you
Whatever. I didn't have time to work it.
You didn't have time to work it that
I'm not going to sit
That
that.
sounds like a Angie story, though, doesn't it?
It does, but it's not.
You know what a good litmus test is? When you kiss a girl, and if she touches you,
Okay, can we get past this? When does the second plane hit?
Sir?
You gotta watch your monitor. They're gonna play back. There was just an explosion.
Oh, let me see.
Oh no.
This is. But what happened, Tom? What do you know?
I mean, all I know is that apparently a plane. I've heard Channel 2 describe it as it looked like someone was driving, a drunk driver driving a car, flew into the building.
Was it a terrorist attack?
Look at
It's
that.
unbelievable. I mean,
It's a huge hole.
To see what's going on at the World Trade Center, and about there's
wow,
an
look
explosion
at
that just happened. 20
It's
seconds
even
ago.
lower now, the explosion.
You got to get to the part where Beetlejuice is interviewed about the tower. No, that does not happen. Don't tell me that happens. There's no way Beetlejuice was on this episode. There is the episode where Beetlejuice had to fly a plane, and that was interesting. But I'm positive there's no way that happened.
Looks like a movie.
It is. Yeah, it does. It looks like a movie special effect.
I'm telling you, it's Pam Anderson's jet.
Oh, stop.
Vinny, what are you talking about?
There's no time to be making a...
This is not even a joke.
Wait, hold on. Is the other one catching fire now?
Gene Simmons is in there.
What was the Gene Simmons thing?
Gene Simmons blew up.
Wait a second. Let me see that again.
Pull that up again.
Is it in both buildings?
Does it look like, it looks like the other buildings are
Watch this explode.
caught now.
Well, yeah, this is going to be massive. Are there people in the building? There's got to be people in the building.
But I mean, I don't know who said it was Gary or John, but you're right. I mean, how does the fire department deal with this?
I don't know.
Well, they said emergency crews are rushing to the scene.
That's a hole like the Oklahoma City
Somebody
hole
brought
they
up
built.
Pentagon. Pentagon was struck after or before the Twin Towers?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
After.
That's a
I believe.
heart.
That's flames, man.
See,
That
that's
really
the second
does,
building, so...
Oh, my God.
No.
Okay, it was after. So it makes sense that they're not bringing up the Pentagon.
No, it's the one on the
Second building's on fire.
That's right. The one on the right has a hole in
There's
it.
a hole in it. The other one's the one that
No, I think it was the
exploded.
back.
That's a
I think it was the backside
reflection.
of the first building.
That's a reflection.
At least I hope it was.
When's the second plane?
So wait, Pam Anderson.
Did they know that the second plane hit, or do they think the other one just burst into flames? Because there was live footage. There is live footage of the second plane going into the tower. So there was possibility of them being able to see it.
It was just a rumor. Somebody just called and said that on CNN. A second plane just crashed into one.
Stop it.
A second plane.
Wait a minute.
buildings.
They
Look
are
at that Howard
two buildings,
building.
and that is lower.
What I
So it's a terrorist attack, isn't it?
That's what they're saying.
It's got to
It's got to be.
Somebody just called in
Oh,
with that.
my goodness.
Oh no.
A second plane might have crashed, and a second building is on fire.
Why does everyone go to the World Trade Center?
What do they do there?
It's a big target.
Landmark in New York.
Well, it's the biggest landmark in New York, really, isn't it?
Next to
It's
Gary
the tallest.
Oh my God.
And it's a place where people can be killed. Like, you can't take down the Statue of Liberty. Nobody's going to be killed there. Hey, maybe I should put the sound on.
Yeah. I mean, we got Channel 2.
Yeah, give me some sound.
What's all that
Hold
stuff?
on.
Is it, that's flying in the air. You see
That looks
that?
like papers or something.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of debris and stuff.
And this will be a good opportunity for me to act like Dan Rather.
Yes, you can practice.
Because I'm gonna be
when
the-
they call.
Does this scare you?
Yes, it does scare me. We're totally too lax in this country.
Ooh, no, Howard. No, Howard. Don't say that.
I'll tell you. Tell me if you're ready.
What do you mean by we're too lax in this? Howard, what does that even mean, Howard? Howard, what does that even mean? Howard Stern, Patriot advocate.
Did you see that movie Swordfish, Howard?
Now at the scene, we should tell you that approximately 40,000 people work in the World Trade Centers between the two towers. Each building 110 stories tall. And joining us on the phone again is John McLennan. He works at 200.
I hope it's not Captain Jenks.
And has witnessed some of this unfold.
As have we, just before 9 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Hello? Just before, John, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Just before 9 o'clock this morning, an unbelievable event happened, catastrophic event. A plane crashed into the World Trade Center Tower number 1 not more than 3 minutes ago.
Are they live when it hits the Pentagon?
Second explosion happened at tower number 2. We're being told that it could have been another plane, although what we saw was just an explosion. And again, Michael, you said 40,000 people work at World Trade Center. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're efforting. Reporters on the scene are trying to get down there. Marcella Palmer, namely.
They stayed live the whole time. Well, this is only... Oh, this is just part 1. Does anybody have part 2? I'm interested in seeing kind of all of this now. This is really interesting.
As many others that we have called in and heading down there. We're trying to get people who have been eyewitnesses to this to call us so that we can hear what they know and what they've seen. We're hearing that it could have been a Boeing 737 or an Air.
I want to hear what the rhetoric they used is, because now that the war in Afghanistan's over, I'm actually really interested in like what type of rhetoric they used.
Us from one of our witnesses.
So it was 2 planes.
We're not still sure
so you think it was 2 planes?
Exactly caused
They're not
that
sure.
explosion on the second World Trade Center tower.
They don't know.
But if it was one of those size planes, those are huge jets.
We have no confirmation on the injuries, as Lisa mentioned. We have no knowledge as to how many people involved. However, our producers are telling us now that we do have some videotape of the second plane, and you can see it there.
Where? I didn't see it. Whoa.
This is crazy.
We're under attack.
Going into buildings.
From our vantage point, clearly difficult to tell.
We're under attack.
What type of plane that is, but it's a horrific scene.
That's
all right. We've just been told also, Michael, sorry, the New York Stock Exchange is being evacuated.
Back when this happened, people were pointing fingers everywhere in my classroom, including me, because they thought Mexicans were behind the attack. I'm sorry, man. I was 4 months old, but why would anybody think Mexicans were behind the attack? Why? Were they just really angry about NAFTA? Like, for what purpose?
As is, I'm sure, much of Wall Street, if not all of it, as much as possible. But the New York Stock Exchange has suspended trading for the moment.
It's war. Come on.
Everyone tries to get out of
the
Japanese area.
This is Pearl Harbor.
Right, we got to go bomb everything over there now.
We got to bomb the hell out of them.
What does that even...
You know who it is.
Listen to... I mean, I get it. They're... Okay. So to be fair to these people, let's be fair to these people. I could have said Jalalabad, and they would have been like, sure, let's bomb that, right? I could have said Manzugagaru, like just make up random countries, and they would have been like, sure, let's bomb that at this point. And that's because they're super emotional, because they're watching 3,000 people die live. Possibly in their mind, since the reporter said 40,000, possibly 40,000. Yeah, I could have said Agrabah from Aladdin, and they would have been like, yeah, let's bomb that, why not? The complete, you can see the nuance completely leaving their souls immediately, and they are just angry and want to bomb something, which is understandable when your nation is attacked, when that nuance leaves your body. But when you're about to engage in a full-fledged campaign against terror, that nuance is kind of important.
I can't say, but I know who it is.
That's crazy.
What does that even mean? Wait, Howard, you can't say, I can't say, but I know who it is? Howard... You had no clue who it was, Howard. You can't say that. What?
Pearl Harbor.
Right, we got to go bomb everything over there now.
We got to bomb the hell out of them. You know who it is. I can't say, but I know who it is.
Who was it? Was it Steve, Howard? Did you know how? God.
That's crazy.
He was an inside man. Yeah, he was a secret agent.
This is more upsetting than me not getting Pam Anderson. What is that, Tom?
There it is. There it is. Yep, I see it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Tom?
I've never seen anything like, obviously.
Me neither.
Nobody's ever seen anything like that.
Oh, my God.
So that's a suicide mission.
Yeah, suicide mission.
They're doing it over here now.
We can't put words in the FAA's mouth or with any flight.
I know who's doing it.
Tower information.
There's no way a 737 would do that.
And on what seemingly is a relatively clear New York day, 2 plane impacts, one you just witnessed there, saw on tape.
It's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
We're at war.
Look at that.
Who are we at war with?
Wasn't there a poll that a third of Republicans wanted to bomb Agrabah? That is a real poll. I forget the exact numbers, but somebody please link that in chat. Dylan, take it easy. Can you imagine live casting this? Okay, I understand. Look. I'm saying I even said, like, I gotta understand why emotional they are. But if something happens and then you're just like, well, let's bomb them. Let's bomb them all. Like, you gotta understand how that rhetoric can be dangerous. Even, like, I'm just asking us to have a little reflection. Definitely, since we know how the next 20 years went. And how people tried to use this as a justification to invade Iraq, primarily Dick Cheney, right? And the famous Prague meeting, that just like the rhetoric that started right here echoed for 20 years, even further. Watch the buildings getting, I'm not going to watch the buildings getting hit. I'm not going to do that. I just don't feel it.
Number 2 picture.
Not long after 9. Yeah, this is I believe, picture from Chopper 2.
That's
Jim Smith, are you up there?
Yes, we are, Michael and Lisa. We have been forced to stay about 5 miles away from the World Trade Center. A flight restriction has been put in place, but right now we are looking at live pictures. The tower on the left, that is tower number 1. And we can tell you that we can still see the flames and smoke coming out of that as well.
Sorry, but you were too young to really understand what that day was like. Okay, look, I understand that it was an emotional day and it was horrific and it was scary. But you're still not going to be able to justify to me the type of language that was produced out of that day. We saw a massive spike in anti-Muslim hate crimes. Like, a massive spike, man. It was so bad that there was instances where people just thought people were Muslim and they weren't even Muslim, like Sikhs. And they killed them, lynched them. Like, I can acknowledge that people's emotions got the better of them because they were scared and frightened because they were attacked in a way they never thought they could be attacked. But I'm not going to justify the language that was used.
As well as the tower to the right. That is tower number 2. You can see the damage to that about the middle of the building. Just incredible what we are witnessing here from about 5 miles away from the World Trade Center.
Jim, I don't know if you were able to see the videotape that we showed moments ago. And if you have any information at all as to what type of plane and what carrier may be involved.
Well, we did not have that as of yet, Michael. Unfortunately, we were unable to see.
The attacks occurred 18 minutes apart.
Baker is right now talking with air traffic control. We're
okay,
trying.
Does anybody have a timestamp in this video for when the Pentagon's hit and when they hear about that? Watch Tower 7 fall and tell me it wasn't a demolition? Okay. It wasn't a demolition. There you go. That was really easy. Have any more smart, big brain challenges for me?
To determine what exactly happened here, what type of plane, to be exact, was involved here, as well as the carrier involved.
We're showing people again that videotape that was shot just moments ago of
Holy
that second
cow.
plane making impact into the second of the trade centers. Again, both 110 stories tall, 40,000 people working between them.
Dominic is on the phone. He seems to want to say something. Yes, Dominic. Oh, he's gone. What is it, Joey Boots?
Howard, hey, I'm down on West 4th Street. We heard the first explosion. We went outside. We're watching the smoke come out. There's a hole in the side of the building. All of a sudden, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes later, there was another plane.
I remember going back and watching the day of news reports from around the world, like a few years ago, of 9/11. It was super interesting to see how, like, people perceived it from around the world.
Flying around, and that disappeared into the building also, and you had like a third explosion after that.
How big did that plane look?
The second plane was a decent-sized plane. It looked like it would hold maybe 50, 60 people.
Really?
Yeah, let me tell you something. Like, we're looking on TV, and the World Trade Center is so big that it looks like...
Do you not think the military complex had an incentive for 9/11 to happen? Okay, if you sell guns or bombs, you have an incentive to sell guns or bombs, of course. But let me explain why this logic is not ever going to be enough to convince anyone. You could say that about every single terror attack in history. That, well, if you look at either the bombings in Israel, or, for example, what if I said to you that Pearl Harbor was an inside job, and that it wasn't actually the Japanese who did it, it was actually America, and we did that so that American military manufacturers did it so we could sell a ton of guns in World War II. Or, what if I said that the rockets attack from the Gaza Strip are actually done by the IDF because They need a justification to bomb the Gaza Strip. Like, I could do this all day. We could talk about incentives and malice applied here or malice applied there or secret plots here, but without direct evidence, I'm not going to believe it. Because there's a million incentive reasons by a million different groups. There's incentives for a million different people to do a million different things. That's never going to be enough. And I've looked through these conspiracy theories before. Now, I'm not an architect, but I've looked into these weird dancing Israelis conspiracy theories, and they never have enough proof to convince me of anything. Ever. If there's any conspiracy theory I can tell people it's really not worth their time, it's this.
I'm looking at it from here. You couldn't even believe the sight. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. We heard the first explosion. It rocked my friend's apartment, and he lives, West 4th Street, and that's downtown. And we could see the Twin Towers right from here. There's smoke billowing out of the side of the building. There's a hole in the side. Then we saw the other plane flying around after we were out there watching it for a few minutes, and that plane disappeared into the building, and it blew up.
Flying right into the building.
This is them towelhead bastards.
Well, we don't know who it is.
We don't know yet, but I got a feeling.
It could be.
You can't say that, but I can say that. It's about time we take these towelhead bastards and throw them out of the damn country.
Well, don't overreact.
We're too nice to people.
Let's find out.
What does that even mean? Like, listen to this guy. Listen to the rhetoric of this guy. These, and of course, uses a term that's not very friendly. Just throw them out of the country. We don't even know who did it yet. Just making assumptions on who did it and why they did it. And he's just already saying, like, deport all these people, abandon all fundamental American values on, like, the idea of Statue of Liberty, let immigrants in, bring me your huddled masses, just throw it all up, religious freedom, gone, just instantly. And all it took was a little fear.
Who it is. We're going to find out. Once I find out...
Then we'll get crazy.
Then we'll get crazy.
I got a lot of friends that work in that building. I'm sitting here watching it burning right now.
I know, Joey.
The attack happened, and I just
know people down there?
Somebody now.
You do? I do too.
My father used to work in that building.
Who does?
My father used to work.
Yeah, I know. We know tons of people down there.
Mr. X used to work in that building.
Yeah, I know that.
My wife used to work in that building.
Let's go to Mike, who works in the building next door. Joey Boots, stay on the line. Yeah, Mike.
Hi.
Howard, how you doing?
Yeah.
What's really weird is you and other young people cringe at this stuff. I don't think it's weird for people to cringe at people throwing out terms like quote-unquote towelhead, okay? I think those terms are very, very bad to use. Unless you want to defend their usage, which if you are going to defend their usage, honestly, I don't want you in my community.
It's crazy over here. It's like chaos. It's like the Armageddon.
Of course.
And we saw the spike in hate crimes. If somebody could send me the data quick. We saw the spike in hate crimes after 9/11 against Muslim Americans. It was horrific. And rhetoric like that contributed to it. Not to mention, like, the unconstitutional spying on Muslim Americans in New York City at post 9/11, how quickly we abandoned many fundamental American values.
The first plane we didn't see. But
you ought to get out of your building, dude.
All we saw was fire. Then the second time, we actually saw the plane circle around and then smash into the building.
Plane.
We're under attack.
Could you see
there are people flying planes into New York City and crashing into buildings.
It's chaos. There's people all over the place.
You saw the plane?
I saw the second plane.
What did it look like? Did it look like a commercial plane?
No, it looked like maybe one of those Airbus type things, like an MD-80.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
Howard, anybody else that's out there listening now that's working at New York City landmarks, take my word, be on the lookout right now, because these guys, they like to do these in multiple numbers.
There could be more coming in.
That other bombing, they're going to bomb a whole bunch of sites. Make sure everybody takes watch. And you see any Air Force.
Howard.
The Air Force is stunned. What?
On a more serious note, you're a big pussy. You didn't touch Pamela Anderson.
No, we're back on that. Dude, I'm telling you.
We can talk about that anytime.
Yeah, you can get back on me tomorrow. I'm in the middle of organizing a military action. Thank you.
Like, how do you combat this, though?
You know how.
Back to Pamela Anderson.
Stopped them.
No, but I'm saying, you
go in there and you teach them a lesson.
We know where these people are.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
We know exactly where they are. We need to send some cruise missiles over there right now and just start bombing the hell out of them.
Today.
We're always worried about the innocent civilians who live around.
You know what? Innocent civilians, so what? They shouldn't be living by these guys, supporting them, all that crap, okay?
What does that mean? They shouldn't be living near these people? What does that mean? They shouldn't be living near these people. What about the innocent civilians? No, they shouldn't be living near terrorists. Wow, that's great. Wonderful logic. That means that if the cops just decided to take out a whole city block, they can just say they shouldn't have lived near a single gang member. Brilliant. Brilliant. You're a genius. Hate crime statistics. Thank you. Many minority groups were victims of hate crimes after 9/11. This is from 2003, so this is not even that far after. People perceived to be Middle Eastern were as likely to be victims of hate crimes as followers of Islam in the days after September 11th. So this includes groups like Sikhs. Terrorist attacks as a Ball State University study. Data collected from the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Program also found the number of such hate crimes fell dramatically after 8 days. Criminal justice professor, hate crime researcher. 1,600% surge in anti-Islamic hate crimes. Jesus.
We won't do anything. You can see.
You gotta understand the guy's super emotional. I understand he's super emotional, right? But as somebody who just went through something that I think my emotions got the better of me in a large part, I can say being super emotional is that a justification for your actions.
Hey, GW, better get on the stick.
GW, you're listening to this right now. You better bomb the hell out of those towel heads.
Howard, what was the end result of after the whole World Trade Center bombing and all the trials and everything else? Yeah. How many guys?
Nothing happened.
Nothing, right?
Nothing.
Oh no, that's not true.
Well, some guys went.
By the way, let's also say that teach them a lesson and carpet bomb them. Even if we actually like followed that to its logical conclusion and we just straight up carpet bombed. I mean, just straight up like Soviet style carpet bomb them. And Soviet carpet bombing of Afghanistan was so brutal. If we look at Afghanistan population, right? I've done this a few times on stream before, so I can't spell for anything. If we look at Afghanistan population, right? You see this dip. This is during the Soviet invasion, liberation, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't really care. Of Afghanistan. That is what the Soviet bombing campaign did. That's how brutal it was. It was a scorched earth policy. Does anyone want to tell me who won the war? Was it the Soviets or the Mujahideen? Does anybody have any ideas here? Wasn't the Soviets.
To jail. Yeah. Big deal.
Like guys.
Where's this Obi?
Do some strategic
where's Obi Bin Laden or whatever his name is?
We never declared war on.
Hey, Howard. They tried to get Bin Laden at 3 different places. Remember that?
Oh, come on. We can't get Bin Laden. Then there's something wrong in this world.
Okay, to be clear, Bill Clinton did try to get Bin Laden on multiple occasions. They just did. I mean, you could have made the argument though that they could have dedicated more resources, but they did try to get him.
Hey Howard, I just spoke to a guy. He just went by with a fire scanner. Said there's multiple casualties.
Of course.
Gotta be.
It's 9 o'clock. Everybody's at work at 9 o'clock. They timed it just perfectly. The opening of the stock market. Everybody going to work.
How do they get a plane? I don't know.
2 planes.
How fast it's spreading, Aaron?
2.
Oh, the whole building's going up.
Those buildings are just going to be, they're like matchboxes now.
Yeah, but everybody
let me go back to the news report for a second. Let's hear what's on the news.
That was planned by a terrorist group, or it can be just that the air traffic control system completely crashed. This is going to take a lot of investigating.
The air traffic control system.
Like a crazy air traffic control.
They're not allowed.
Hold it. Visually, no, it's a clear day in New York. There's no way 2 planes crash into the World Trade Center.
They're a legitimate news organization. They're not allowed to say what we're thinking, which is obvious.
Evaluate some of the injuries.
I wonder why they have a little bit more restraint, but not using terms like towel head.
Plane flying around there, it disappeared, and then there was an explosion.
You know what? Today is primary day.
I mean, it's pretty sensible to me what happened.
Medical service ambulances are also on alert. Remember, when there was the prior crash, there were 1,000...
Okay, does anybody have the timestamp? I'm going to ask for it one more time, or I'll just go look for it myself. It's a timestamp of when the Pentagon was hit and when it was announced on this broadcast.
I can't believe I'm seeing this either.
Today is primary day, Howard, and it also means that we're losing our mayor, Giuliani, and I really think he should declare like something and just stay in office.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm about to give a hot take. Mayor Giuliani actually made 9/11 worse. There's a lot of people who pretend that he made it better, but if you actually read the 9/11 report, he 100% made it worse. It's not even a question. I mean, him deciding to put the office in the tower, or him not updating the firefighters' communication equipment. I mean, the reason why people thought he was America's mayor and actually did a good job when it comes to 9/11 is 100%, no questions asked, because he was able to get in the cameras faster and bigger than Bush was. That's it. That was it. By the way, Hutch is ready, so I'm gonna jump. Oh, thanks, Kat. I think I'm gonna jump in there. Not sure the exact time. Okay, we'll listen quick to the Pentagon getting hit, and then we'll go talk to Hutch.
Full support, as would be obvious, for the victims and their families, as well as prominent landmarks, the World Trade.
Change the face of New York.
Here, this stuff happens every right. It's fine.
Frank, you're on the air. Frank.
I just wanted to give you guys a kid's perspective. I got a 9-year-old sister that just called me and asked me, why do people hate the Americans?
Well, because we have everything, and we have a way of life that's organized and free, and they're jealous. I mean, it's an easy question to answer.
Yeah.
It's not an easy question to answer, Howard. It's really not an easy question to answer.
We have it all.
You know, they were like, we want a Nintendo, and that's when they did 9/11. Yeah, that's brilliant analysis, Howard.
Honey, I'm sorry you have to witness stuff like this.
Because these other countries live in fear of their leaders.
It's unbelievable.
They're raised to hate, and we have to now recognize.
And they make us responsible for all of their misery.
You know, it's no different than when you were a kid growing up and you were beaten. I mean, it's you either take out those that beat you, or you accept it, and the behavior continues.
Right, and to see a broadcast, live over TV while she's getting ready for school, just it hit me hard.
You know, as Robin pointed out, for a year now, they've all been saying, well, Ben Laden's is preparing a big attack on the United States. I don't know if it's Ben Laden on this particular thing, but once I hear he's preparing an attack, level the country he lives in. Yeah. They're protecting him.
Exactly.
Why do we care? We're a country that has it all. Now's the time to level. There's too many people in the world anyway. Level them out.
And how many other attacks have to happen that's already happened before we do something?
I hope this is enough.
Yeah, we're too worried about...
I hope this is enough that we don't care about public opinion.
Yeah. And I'm angry.
We don't care. Just disregard it.
I'm angry right now. I'm not even trying to... I don't care how the radio show sounds or not. I mean, I just genuinely feel this way. I don't understand if we are so hated and so at war. And there are people... I mean, what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
What are we waiting for? Michael, go ahead. And then I'm going to get out of here because there's no point in me staying on. I'm sure people are tuning to television. Don't you agree, Tom?
You know what? I think for callers like this, as long as you want to stay.
Okay.
I've been stuck in my car, and I'm in a dust storm right now.
What are we looking at now? Hold on a second.
Earlier this morning, approximately 60-foot section of this building, which is, of course, the headquarters of all...
Pentagon. That's the Pentagon we're looking at. It's on fire.
Was on fire as a result of this crash, and then collapsed.
The Pentagon collapsed.
Some of the pictures we've been bringing our audience from the Pentagon. We've watched people being treated by first aid personnel there. We have no information yet.
I'm getting a note that on WYSP in Philly, Detroit, and Cleveland radio stations we're being interrupted. So I don't even know what stations we're on at this point. And what are we being interrupted with? I don't know.
We're definitely on in New York, that's for sure.
No, I know that.
Elsewhere,
what's interrupting us?
Anyway, okay. All I want to say is that's wild. I didn't know it was that, like, drastic. My God. The reaction. I mean, I knew it was a remotion, but my God. Howard Stern. I guess it's good that we have that public record, though. How people were reacting to it. Because that seemed like the genuine reaction people had at the time. That most certainly was that.